Strong is Thanos? And that's the question we're going to answer today. Now, right off the bat, we got to get rid of the Infinity Gauntlet. You see, Thanos is most well known for the storyline, the Infinity Gauntlet, in which he gets a gauntlet that has all of the Infinity Gems, or Soul Gems, depending on which version of this storyline you're looking at, and he pretty much wipes out half of life in the entire universe to impress Mistress Death. It's pretty safe to say if you've got control of every single Infinity Stone, you've got ultimate power. So we're gonna have to take that away from him. How strong is Thanos without the Infinity Gauntlet? Because if you've been reading the comic books, Thanos still has the ability to instill fear into so many individuals in the Marvel Universe that he must be a powerful individual. So let's look at some of the most epic moments in his life that shows you why people have an insane fear for this big-headed purple guy. Now, before we can go any further, we do need to understand who Thanos actually is, because, you know, all you've ever seen in the movies is that he's a big purple guy in the end credit scenes. Thanos was born on Saturn's moon, Titan, and he's the child of the Eternals' mentor and Suzanne. I doubt I pronounced that correctly. Because he has the Deviance gene, his appearance doesn't match that of the Eternals. And in his younger years, his mother tried to murder him, and he spent all of his time with his brother Eros, also known as Star Fox. He also is shockingly a pacifist. But as he grew older, he became obsessed with death and nihilism, worshipping the very idea of it until he fell in love with the embodiment of it, Mistress Death. As things moved forward, he begins to understand that he can augment his powers through mystical and artificial means, turning him into a sheer powerhouse. And that power is the question that we're going to be asking today. How much does he have at this point? Well, he went on to live a new life with a new wife and a child until Mistress Death approached him again, and he murdered his own family to prove his loyalty to her. This didn't impress her though, so Thanos began a quest to conquer all and kill everything to impress Mistress Death. So now Thanos is known for quite a few powers, but obviously strength is the biggest one on there. That's the one that we all get to see displayed most often. And if you don't believe that he's that strong, well, let me prove you wrong. Now, first up, we're going to be covering his post-Thanos quest power levels, and he has shown capabilities of literally backhanding Hulk and Drax in a single swing when they attempted to grab him. And speaking of the Hulk, you can go ahead and claim, no, Thanos caught him off guard with that backhand. Well, when the Hulk charged at him in a different fight, truly ready to battle him, Thanos just chucked him through a village. He also dropped the Super Skrull in a single swing. And if taking out the Hulk and Super Skrull wasn't enough for you, well, how about Galactus? He is strong enough to blast Galactus across the surface of whatever they are standing on in this image, bouncing him multiple times like he's a rock on a pond. Sure, Galactus wasn't dead or unconscious, but he did knock his helmet off, which really irritated the big guy. So it's safe to say that Thanos' strength is pretty much immeasurable at this point in time. So next up, we need to discuss the next big power that he has, his durability. Because while he's strong, and oh my god is he strong, that dude can take one hell of a punishment. We almost never see him dodge things. So to start this one off, let's go with Silver Surfer blasting him with the power cosmic in the face, and Thanos simply asking him if he was done. This actually happened twice. Here's another image. I don't know why Silver Surfer tried it a second time. It didn't work the first. Thanos also survived a black hole, which I think might be one of the most destructive natural occurrences in the universe. Don't quote me on that though, but I can't think of anything stronger than a black hole. He also survived a full hit from Thor's hammer, causing nothing more than a nosebleed on him. And here's Black Bolt hitting him with literally everything. Black Bolt's powers are his voice, and it can hit insane levels of power, which we've never really seen because if he even whispers, he can kill a man. And when Thanos pissed him off, well, he just started yelling. Yet none of this affected Thanos. There are a ton more examples of him basically being indestructible, but we'll leave this at about durability somewhere around 1 million. Now, like I said, because he's durable, we don't get to see much of his agility or his ability to dodge things. We have seen instances where he's fast enough to dodge out of the way of almost anything, but when you're like nearly indestructible, you really don't need to do that often. As a matter of fact, I think it's more impressive to just take things to the face. So next up on his power list is Thanos has telepathy. And his telepathy is kind of interesting because he doesn't ever really need to use it because he's so strong and so indestructible. But there's a couple of really fun instances where he has used it. Now, one of the things he did was looking into the mind of one of the most destructive villains in the Marvel Universe, Annihilus. He saw what the plan truly was in Annihilation, and he turned against him from this vision. He also stopped Drax in his tracks with a single thought so that he could talk to the Guardians. Now, this is one that I don't understand why we don't see very often. I mean, Drax has never really been a true threat threat to Thanos, except for that time when he punched his heart out of his chest. If I was Thanos, I would just tap into Drax's mind and have him leave me alone forever. Another thing that Thanos is capable of is spaceflight. I really don't know why he doesn't use it too often, because he really doesn't. Maybe it's because he enjoys sitting in his giant space throne, looking all intimidating. Or maybe it's because with the chair and the ability to teleport, he doesn't need the ability to fly that often. You see, Thanos has proven multiple times that he can teleport pretty much anywhere he wants to go. He's teleported himself to Mistress Death's dimension, and he's also teleported other people to himself, like Professor Xavier, one of the most powerful telepaths in the Marvel Universe. After all of these abilities, indestructibility, super strength, telepathy, the ability to fly, pretty much making him nearly a god even without the Infinity Gauntlet, he has also shown that he has the abilities of energy manipulation. He can make beams come out of his eyes, his hands, his stomach, and probably other parts of his body that I shouldn't say on this channel. Here's his AoE attack killing everything around him, and here's him wiping out Ero's arm, and on top of all of that, he's a master of the mystical arts, which is one of the methods he used to enhance himself. And the